playing, producing in the studio, doing remixes, everything you can think of, we're doing it at the moment.
Yeah, lots of touring, remixes, man. We deal with artists. Yeah. Yeah.
Literally, man, when we get home, it feels like we're in the service, in the army or something, because when we hit the ground, we just start running, So we try to get as much done in a shorter amount of time as possible. So literally, by the time we get off the plane, we might be running almost straight to the studio within 24 hours just to start working.
Yeah. Five brothers total. So when we do production, we just spread it across whoever's available and whoever. When we're actually doing the original work, it's normally we just all come together. We come together if we can, or we see what someone else has already started, that kind of thing. Remixes, if we're on a tight schedule, most of the time it's just Lawrence and I, because of the schedule that we're dealing with.
We're the core of the performance, man.
Yeah.
The other guys like to hang out in the studios. They don't really like the stage, so. Four of us together. Yeah. Different combinations. Never all five together. But all five of us have been on the stage at one time.
It's a little bit like the Jackson Brothers, huh?
Yeah, we get that comparison a lot. Yeah. I don't know who's Mike. Wow. We came over, we didn't play the first time we came to Tresor.
It was in 91 when we actually just came to the club.
To actually see the club, 91. We came to visit a friend, Mark Nessus at Wax Records.
Yeah, we went to Mayday.
Yeah, we went to Mayday.
It was the first.
And we came to actually see what the whole tour experience was about. And that was definitely the first time we've ever seen a club like Tresor. Especially going down into the basement bunker location. The fog, man. It's like, what is this, man? What are they dancing in, man? I mean, it was really crazy. I never experienced anything like that, honestly.
It was cool, I tell you.
Yeah. We met Dimitri in Detroit years and years ago. He came to Detroit many times, and met him, I think, at that time, we might have been with Mike Banks, and he was over hanging out with Blake Baxter for a minute, and he was actually even thinking about making a club in Detroit for a while. So, we had met Dimitri, several times in Detroit first, I think, before we even came. Wow.
Because I actually started DJing before we started coming out live. So I was doing, first gig was in Glasgow, Scotland. Second gig was the actual Mayday. And then I started doing a series of Mayday events for a while.
We started performing live in, I want to say, 99 or 2000.
It was
99. And I believe this was, we played at Fabric, we played Reinforced, I think it was their 10th anniversary party, Reinforced Records. And then we also played, at the same time, we played in Dublin, some really cool club in Dublin, but that was our first time actually hitting Europe playing live. We had just finished doing the US tour, just a small mini tour. We did about 4 or 5 cities throughout the US. And that was when we had first started performing live. The thing about our first tour was that we were setting up a tour for other artists on our label. At that time we had Direct Beat Records, and we were setting up a U.S. tour. We had a U.S. distribution deal, and some of our artists decided they didn't, for one reason or another, did not want to do the tour. So we had a big gap where we needed a live band. So that's where we became a live band. Primarily because the tour was booked, the advertising was all paid for, it was in the magazine, we had sponsors, but we didn't have like that main act that we needed for the tour, so we became that main act.
Yeah, it was purely by accident too, because what happened, I was DJing on the tour and he was going to perform live, Lenny was going to perform live. And what happened, I would DJ first, then Lenny would come on after me and start playing live. And he had all this gear on the stage, and literally he was trying to work everything, and I saw him trying to work all the stuff and the mixer, and I just came over and started playing with the mixer. And I was just kind of still in DJ mode for playing, playing with the decks and stuff. And I started doing that on the mixer while he was jamming on the instruments, and that's how it just kind of fused together live on stage.
For one thing, what we understand from that perspective is that we respect the lighting and visual guy as an artist, because we came from that point of view.
Yeah.
Well, our introduction into this music really was us working at the Music Institute. We used to do lighting at the Music Institute. So that's kind of where we were really deeply exposed to electronic music as a genre. I mean, prior to that, we were buying a few records here and there, but being, baptized into this society it's a Music Institute, so we were doing lighting and special effects, and Derek May would be spinning and things like that, and it was just really just kind of it drew us in, and we were artists from that perspective. So we understand when we're working with a lighting person or a visual artist that they also an artist, that it's all part of an experience. So you try your best to give them the freedom to do what they want to do. Because you understand that they're expressing themselves. It's not just you on the stage, there's an entire production that's happening. So it's not just somebody just flicking some lights on and off and some visuals going off. It's somebody expressing themselves artistically also.
Yeah, they're feeling it like we feel it. So
yeah, that's it.
Just allow them the space to do what they need to do.
For us, when we want to do our full experience, it is everything. It's visuals, it's lighting, it's everything. I mean, that's what we think our full experience is, and that's what we'd like to be able to bring. Many times you can't do that. A lot of times the promoter finds it hard to bring two guys in.
Yeah, sure.
But really, that's what we think this whole electronic music period. That's the full experience. It's the visual, it's the lighting, it's everything. We were calling ourselves the Mission Control Network. I can't remember exactly where the origins of that name came from, but
I think that's something you came up with.
Yeah, I mean, because we were actually building a lot of our own stuff. I mean, we were buying like lighting, but we were building our own control consoles and things like that.
I mean, we would alter everything.
Yes.
We would get it and start tearing it apart and just making our own explosion pods.
Yeah, we do explosion pods. Yeah, all kinds of things.
Literally, we had gunpowder.
Yeah, we had all kinds of things. Like we wanted to mix with flash powder. We wanted to bang. Yeah, we did dance groups too, like hip hop groups.
There was a group of Motor City Express. We used to actually kind of do their lighting, and for a while we were kind of co-managing the group as well.
Yeah, so we were doing a lot of different types of things before we actually got into electronic or techno music. Yeah, so we were doing corporate events, man. We were doing all kinds of things, and it was fun. I mean, we saw these explosion pop, and the crowd was great, man.
You'd be watching the dance group locking or something, and he would point, and that would be time for the pod to go off. And that's some of the theatrics that we kind of learned, watching different acts, might not always been musical acts, but get the chance to feed off of all these different energies and to kind of gelled into what we do as well.
I think primarily when we came up with the Mission Control Network, we were building like our own control consoles. Yeah. And that's kind of like, you kind of felt like you were like in NASA or something like that, building this, the space shuttle. And I think it was just a concept, and it just all came together from there.
Yeah, I mean, everybody just kind of levitated towards Berlin, so
it seems
from around the world. So
it seems to be like a perfect storm happening here. I mean, it's the club culture. It's a lot of the industry coming here. It's it seems to be very open for artistic expression here. So I think that's what's happening at the moment. That it's like when you come here, it's we don't just come and just relax. I mean, it's just too much to do. It's it's club culture. It's a lot of media, a lot of different things that are dealing with what we deal with that are just here in Berlin. So I mean, I don't think it's been a city like this for techno that I can remember.
Detroit was the melting pot back in the day, because people would come from all over the U.S. at that time, and around the world too, because a lot of people came from England and stuff, and kind of came to Detroit to pick up on the vibe as well. But I think for right now, globally, Berlin is the mecca for electronic
Detroit never was like that media hub where it was a lot of media and a lot of, really the business in Detroit was the business of music. It was never a place where you would find just everything coming together, like huge club culture. We never had a huge club culture in Detroit. We never were a center of media in Detroit. But what we were was just where music came from. I mean, so what was I guess what was the beauty of it, because we really were on the outskirts of everything else. We could just concentrate on just making music.
Bye.